National Weather Service has issued a severe weather alert for the Kremling area. Expect large amounts of snow and be prepared for a major weather system to move through. Use extreme caution if travel is necessary. This has been a severe weather alert.
One time back up in the mountains in Colorado, tells it on the tape, about the storm. Brother Fred and son Ronnie and Banks Woods. I think there was about 8 of us in the camp, 7 or 8 of us. And a report come in through radio that there's a storm coming, looking for them the next morning, sometime pretty early the next morning. All of the jeeps, trucks, everything that was back in there, I reckon it looked like a wagon train. The people are coming out of them mountains, They know when this big snowstorm comes, you get snowed in, can't get out of there for several weeks, Brother Branham told us about what was happening, He says that when them storms comes, you better take the cover, because sometimes you get snowed in 3 or 4 weeks at a time. So you get well to prepare for it. It's awfully rough back in these mountains. He's been hunting you there for 22 years, I believe he said. 21 or 2 years. He's been hunting you this place every year. But anyway, all of the jeeps, trucks, and everything, they pulled out. He asked us, he says, "Now, brothers," said, "they're all left out of here. Said, ain't nobody in here left here but us." He says, "What happens when these here storms come like that?" I said, "It sure does get rough." It says, "Nevertheless," that I come in here as y'all's guide and help y'all hunt. He said, "If you brothers want to go now, I'm ready to go." It says, "If y'all want to stay," that I'll stay. I still know who was in the camp with us.
Amen.
So I had never forgot that. So after he asked us brothers that, I said, "Well, Brother Branham, I'll just speak for myself." I said, "We come in here for an 8-day hunt." And I said, "I would love to stay for the 8 days." Banks Wood says, "Me too, Brother Branham." The rest of the brothers said, "Yeah, we'll stay." So after we all agreed on staying, the next morning, it looked pretty hazy and clouds are hanging real low. And our brothers said, "If it does start now," he said, "y'all better head for Camp Pass." He said, "The snow's so deep you can't hardly wade through it, some of them drifts." But anyway, after we all got posted out towards where we was going, after each man, got staked out where he was going, I just so fell my lot that I followed Brother Branham to, after we had walked about 2.5 to 3 miles up the mountain, climbing the mountain, he says, "I'm going to go on up here a little bit farther." And I know then he wanted to get to himself. So I took off, in another direction just a little ways. And pretty shortly after that, it began to sleet, snow, wind blow. I just kept climbing because I know who was up there with me. I just kept climbing till it got so rough. After about 30, 40 more minutes, climbing higher, I got by a great huge tree, to get behind it, to keep the wind, sleet, hail off of it. And thought, well, it's just too bad now for me to go back. Stay up here because I still know who's up here with us. After staying there for about, I suppose, 20 or 30 minutes, I was getting cold through and through. Seemed like the storm is getting worse and worse. And just all of a sudden, everything, there was a great calm. It kind of reminded me of the Sea of Galilee, when the storm got rough, with the disciples out there on the boat. Jesus was in the boat, was asleep on the pillar, I believe the Bible said. The disciples, Peter and some of them, began to shake him and wake him up. He said, "You don't care if we perish or not, do you?" And he was raised up, and stood up there on the bow of the boat. Because of that storm that was trying to drown him, he says, "Peace, be still." Bible said there was a great calm. Brother Branham told us, I didn't know, he really didn't know what had happened to Brother Branham. Later, told us what happened, you know. All of a sudden, there was a great calm. The sun shined out down through there, turned real warm, real pleasant. I thought that'd be strange, you know, when they was expecting a bad storm to come through there, you know, and just started and then got stopped. But after he told us about it, and about the stopping the storm, I could see him again, you know, there, like he did on the Sea of Galilee. And he stood up there. That voice says to him, to speak to the storm, and it'll obey you. I can see those tears, you know, he said, dripping off in that snow. All of a sudden, after that voice says to him, speak to the storm and it'll obey you. So he said to the storm, says, storm, says, cease, says, sun, shine forth. 4 more days till our huntship is finished.
Brother Fred, I guess, is the only one that was present then. I thought maybe Brother Mann was here. But you, Brother Evans, was he, Brother Evans is up there at that time. Yeah, all right. And, yeah, notice, isn't that the truth? Isn't that the way it happened? The rains just ceased and the wind ceased to blow. What was it? At my word? No. Because He told me to do it. And greater is He that's in us than any nature. Isn't that the same God that can still the waves on the sea? Can make the winds go back to their place? Isn't He the same one that could darken the sun, could make the sun shine? Amen. Well, greater is He that's in you than he that's in the world.